Okay, now we're going to talk about the teaching education tool evaluation. This is located under your table of contents, and so let me pull up the guidelines. We'll talk through these as soon as it loads. Okay, so I'll be honest with you, this is because I have a huge pet peeve of how we teach our patients and actually the lack of education that we give our patients who then don't understand and then do not follow their treatment plan appropriately, and then we label them as being non-compliant when really it's a non-understanding type of situation. So this information here gives you some key tips about how to keep your information that you give to your patients verbally and in writing at a level that's more understandable. And at any point, we should really aim for a sixth grade or less reading level for anything that we try to educate our patients with. Now, some people use the information in their CAP project and their handouts for their CAP project to do this. You may not want to wait until that CAP project's done, and you may just want to get patient education information from other places, such as you can pick up a patient education flyer from a clinic, from health services, someplace where you may be, or you may go to a website like American Heart or something like that to get their patient education information. When you do this assignment, there's essentially 4 pieces of it, okay? So I'm going to walk you through all 4 pieces. To do this assignment, you're going to use something at this website called Readability Formulas. And this website combines all these different formulas to evaluate and determine the reading level of the information that you're giving your patient. So here's your step-by-step instructions. You're going to go to this website. You're going to go toward the bottom of the page, and you're going to click on this free readability text consensus tool. A window pops up, like a box pops up, and you're going to put about 150, you don't have to go all the way to 600, but 150 to 300 words of information from the educational pamphlet, from the website. You can type it in off the educational pamphlet. If you use a website, you can click and copy and paste part of what is geared towards your patient to educate them, and you put it in that box, okay? If it still runs like it used to, you'll have to do a security check question to get it to run, and then you're going to tell it to check text readability. And then it generates a report that tells you at what reading level this information's at. So part 1 of this assignment is the original language, the original educational information from the pamphlet or the website. So you're going to drop it in that box, take a screenshot of it, and that's part 1. Then, after you've clicked this check text readability and you see this report, then you're going to take a second screenshot of that, and that is part 2 of this assignment that you will put in the Dropbox, okay? So your readability report comes, and it's going to have those 6 or 7 different tests that I mentioned up here, the fog scale, the smog index, blah, 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 okay? And let's say the majority of them are at an 8th grade or higher reading level. We know that is inappropriate, really, for patient information. So then your next part is to take that original language and start changing it to simplify it, or in a really crude phrase, you're going to dummy it down, okay? So you take that original language, you change things around, you simplify the wording, look back at some of these to think about how that would, if you did some of these things, how that might decrease the reading level. And as you work with that, you're going to run it back through that same text check text readability. Okay, so you're going to change it, drop it back into the window. So that's part 3 of your changed text. Your changed text is part 3. Hopefully, your next report will show that the majority of your test scores up here are at a 6th grade reading level or less. And if so, then that is your last screenshot. That's your part 4. If not, you got to go back and revise that wording, that language, to continue to get it to become down to a 6th grade reading level or less. Okay? So again, you're going to have 4 parts. You're going to have the original language that you're going to turn in. You're going to have the first report from these readability formulas. You're going to have that screenshot. So that's part 1, part 2 of this assignment. Part 3 is the language that you have modified to get it down to that 6th grade reading level or less. So that's part 3. And then the 4th part is the last report that shows us that you've got it down to 6th grade reading level or less, the majority of the indicators. Okay? So that is all there is for the teaching education tool. This is something that you can do whenever you're ready to do it. You don't have to wait to go to clinical. You can do it after you hear this video and after you hear this explanation and you get through the Q&A Zoom tonight or Tuesday night. You may decide, hey, I'm ready to do some of these and get these off my plate. So this is one of those that you can do. So gather your questions and be ready for the Q&A session.